When I was a kid, I had the freedom to play video games all day, and I did. I would get home from school, power up whatever newest console I had at the moment, and play until my parents demanded I go to sleep. I loved playing video games until one day I didn't. At some point, gaming switched from easy to hard. Today, we're talking about something that no one really warned you about when growing up. Just how hard it becomes to play games once you're juggling work, kids, and everything in between. This isn't just about not having time. It's about dealing with feelings of guilt, mental fatigue, and the constant battle between responsibility and relaxation. Let's start with the obvious, time, or more accurately, the lack of it. I remember the days when I could game for 6 hours straight without a care in the world. Now sitting down for even 30 minutes feels like a chore. Between work fatigue, bedtime routines, and actual house chores, it's nearly impossible to carve out uninterrupted playtime. And if you do find a sliver of time, someone usually needs you. My kids are at that age where they like to come down 3 or 4 times after going to bed to get another sip of water, to go to the bathroom, or they just can't fall asleep yet even though they've only tried for like 5 minutes. Even after they've settled down and the house is finally quiet, sometimes my brain doesn't want to cooperate. When I was a kid, I wouldn't go more than a day or two without playing whatever game I had in my console. But now I can go a week or more without even picking up a controller. And when I do pick it back up, I have to relearn the controls or just what it was I was doing when I stopped. It's often at a part that was particularly challenging or maybe a bit boring, so I'm putting myself right back in at a low point, either failing over and over again or being bored out of my mind, turning it off after 15 minutes, and deciding not to play that game anymore. After working all day and parenting all evening, jumping into a game with complex mechanics and deep storylines feels like a second job. Too often the pleasure I think I'll get from playing a game isn't worth the effort of actually playing the game. So too often I find myself struggling to decide which game to play, often choosing not to play anything at all. My did not finish list is almost as long as my backlog. Then there's guilt. You feel guilty for playing when there's so much to do. Whether it's laundry, the dishes, mowing the lawn, or even something fun like playing with your kids.
Daddy, will you play with me?
Sure.
Or spending time with your spouse. But sometimes you just want 20 minutes to yourself. It becomes this internal tug of war. Do I relax or do I do what needs to be done? It's hard to relax knowing all of the stuff you neglect now will just pile up more tomorrow. Even worse, some people make you feel immature for wanting to play games as a grown adult. Like, after you turn 18, you're not allowed to have hobbies anymore? I've had a lot of hobbies in my life. I spent years reading. Any Brando Sando fans out there, let me know down in the comments below. I've written books, not good ones, mind you, but still, hey, they're books. I like movies and good TV shows, and you know what? Those are all hobbies. For some reason, only gaming is considered childish. To me, gaming is one of the best forms of entertainment. It's emotional, it's interactive, it's mentally and physically challenging in both good and bad ways. For a time there, my answer to this constant struggle was to give up on gaming. From about 2012 to 2016, I don't think I truly played anything except GTA 5. I completely skipped the beginning of the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 generation, and pretty much everyone skipped the Wii U, though it is a great console. But then we had a baby, and a few months later, Pokemon Go came out. And that rekindled my long-lost love of Pokemon and started me down a path to play the newest releases, which just so happened to be the Gen 3 remakes, which were the last generation I ever played. Buying that 3DS didn't just help me rediscover my love of Pokemon, but my love of gaming as well. And so the next year on Black Friday, I bought an Xbox One S. And the next year, a PS4 Slim. And the best thing about buying those systems so late in their life cycle is there were a ton of games to play. Witcher 3, Battlefield 1, Resident Evil 2, newer Gears, newer Halo, God of War, Horizon, Jedi Fallen Order. And during all that time, the Switch existed, but I never bought one. For some reason, I could swallow the $200 price tag of a PS4 Slim with Spider-Man, but I could not swallow the $300 price tag of a Switch. That was until the pandemic hit and I broke down and bought a Switch. And for the first time since the PS2, Xbox, and GameCube era, I owned every console of a generation. And now I own a Switch too, but none of the others. I guess I've kind of come full circle on my gaming. I started life as a Nintendo gamer, migrated to the PS2 and Xbox, and like the prodigal son have returned back to Nintendo. Now my kids are older, not super old, and not really capable of playing games, at least console games, on their own. My oldest played Let's Go Pikachu, but treated it more like Animal Crossing. She kept wanting to go home, and I was like, you can't go all the way back home from Vermilion City. That's not how you progress in the game. She would have never made it through Gen 1 without a guide, but then again, neither did I, so. But now we can play together, and it's a completely different type of fun. My parents were not gamers. They didn't sit down and play video games with me. They were just a generation too far away. They didn't grow up with the dexterity to use a controller, so it never came naturally to them. It does to me, and I imagine to most of you. And it will to my kids if I can keep them off the tablet long enough to pick up an actual controller and play a real game. We've played Mario Kart 8 and Mario Party on the Switch 1, and they were so excited for Mario Kart World, and they just love all the new characters they can be, and even though my youngest struggles to place in the top 15, they love playing it. It's a unique and totally new experience playing games with them, finding new ways to interact and be entertained with them, and using that renewed energy to find ways to play the games I love as well. So while gaming as an adult is certainly hard, it's not all bad. You learn to value the small wins. A single deep run through Hades, a mission before bedtime, 20 minutes of grinding in Bravely Default or Pokemon. Where once I could roll through a game in a week, if not a weekend, or play a game over and over and over, nowadays just making a little bit of progress every week feels like a victory to me. You adapt. You find games that fit into your life instead of trying to fit your life into games. I love the idea of these massive open world RPGs, but I just don't have the time to dedicate to them right now. Not in the way they require, not in the way they deserve, but that's fine. There are plenty of other games out there waiting to be played, and plenty of games to play with your kids. I'm excited to introduce them to the characters and franchises I know and love, and excited to see if they ever fall in love with gaming like I did. I'll make sure to not treat it like a bad thing as long as they've got their homework done. So here's the takeaway. It's okay that gaming is different as an adult. It should be. Life changes as you get older. Your body hurts more, your posture's worse, your responsibilities are greater. Everything's working against you, and sometimes things have to give. It's okay if that's gaming for a while. It was for me, but I can tell you from experience that that too can change. If it's important to you, but you find yourself watching YouTube videos about gaming more than gaming itself, maybe you just need to take a step back and remember just what it is you love about gaming. Play what brings you joy, and drop the games that don't, even if they're amazing games to everyone else. Don't worry about the latest and greatest, or your backlog that's grown insurmountable. Gaming's hard now, but every hour is progress and you should celebrate it. That'll do it for this video. Thanks for watching. Keep playing, even if it's just one save point at a time.